What's up, boys, girls, and everything in between? It's Raptor Patton. I'm not drunk, you're drunk. I'm actually not drunk. Anyway, that's out of the ordinary, isn't it? So here we are, playing fucking Starcraft again. That's a good time. It's a good time. It's been a minute. Had the holidays, had some shit going on. Happy fucking January. What a dismal month is January, and why did we decide to put that as the new year? In like old school times, we were like, hey, should we put the new year in spring? And everyone's like, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And then we just decided that the new year should happen in fucking January or whatever. We know it's still winter, right? The world still sucks. Except for you Californians that haven't the slightest fucking clue what snow looks like. I come from a place that has the snow thing. That's kind of a theme we've got going on. But anyway. Oh, here. Real quick. I'll pause it. I'm gonna cover my eyes. I'm gonna do that Birdbox challenge. And what I'm gonna do with that Birdbox challenge is I'm gonna take a shot of gin. Fuck you. Okay, my eyes are closed. Alright, got the shot glass. I poured. Hopefully I don't overflow. I don't think I did. I don't feel any gin on my hand. And I did it. Alright, there's my Birdbox challenge for the day. Am I relevant now? No? Oh, fuck. Why do I even try? Because I like to try. Now, anyway. So we're here, and I don't remember what we were doing. To be completely honest. We are gathering minerals. That I do know. That's a... The hell are you doing? Get out of here, you fucking Nazi. We don't take kindly to your taps around about these parts. And I like the Zerg. Or Zerg redneck suddenly. Pretty sure the Terrans are the rednecks if you listen to any of them say anything. Or there's a bunch of cowboys or backwoods hicks. There's a reason why they had the Confederacy. Did you notice that? Did anyone notice that? Anyway, who cares? Let's get ourselves some minerals and do something. Lord knows what, but we'll do it. Go away! So here we are. Doing stuff. Anyway. So, I've started reading this little book that I got at a bookstore. Like a used bookstore. It's a fantastic bookstore in downtown Salt Lake. If you ever want to go there. I doubt any of you are from Salt Lake, but it's called Eborn Books. Used to be called Sam Weller's, and the Sam Weller's bookstore is now in Trolley Square. If you're not from Utah, that doesn't... If you're not from Salt Lake specifically, or that area around about, you probably don't know what Trolley Square is. But anyway. And this bookstore is amazing. It's like built in this crazy ass old school, I think it was a bank at some point. It's got like a weird vault. It's got weird upstairs. It doesn't make any sense, like how the place is formed. It's weird, but it's amazing. So I got this book a while ago called The Psalms in Human Life by Roland E. Prothero. And I've found that I really like it. Again, as everybody should know from my previous videos, I am a Christian. I believe in Jeebus. Jeebus was a baller, as far as I'm concerned. But it's an interesting take on the influence of the Psalms from the Bible. Yes, those Psalms. You know, the yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that section of the Bible. Which is cool. It's cool. This is less than fantastic. I don't have a lot of anti-air anything. This is a problem. Like, quite a problem. Give me a Hydralisk then. Anyway. And, it's really interesting. It's just talking about the influence of the Psalms on Western culture. Like I've said before, anyone will remember, in my opinion, and in the opinion of I think most scholars, atheist, theist, or otherwise, the Bible, whether you believe in it or not as a religious treatise, is vital to understanding the world. You're not fully an educated person unless you've read the damn thing. There are certain books and certain works and certain philosophies that one needs to be acquainted with in order to truly be a well-educated, fully understanding person of the world in which they live. I would argue a couple books. Here's the ones I'm going to name. The Bible, Mein Kampf by Hitler. I would say that you need to read that book and figure out why the fuck it's bonkers as shit and why it's it's just utter madness. But you need to know these things. The Communist Manifesto. I would also say, personally, I would also say, Das Kapital by Karl Marx, but that's an undertaking. I understand if you're like, yeah, no, I'm a smart person and I've never read that damn book. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I really don't. Das Kapital, even for someone like me that's like, ooh, yay, more things to learn, is like, oh god, this book. It's a nightmare. Don Quixote, War and Peace by Tolstoy is one that you should read. There are just certain books that whether you believe in them or not, you agree with the philosophies presented in them or not, is irrelevant. There are certain things that you just kind of need to know to be an educated, fully functioning person, in my opinion. Whether you're a scholar or not, whether you consider yourself smart or not, there are certain books that you need to read. Don Quixote, definitely. I love Don Quixote. It's actually one of my favorite books. It's hilarious and yet sad as shit if you get into like the deeper themes of the book. But anyway, I digress. But I found this the Psalms in Human Life. And I realized that a lot of the poetry that we have in our society, mind you, I've read the entire Bible, cover to cover. Not like it's a bragging point, I just have. And this book really goes into how the Psalms, the book of Psalms, in the Bible has influenced our poetry, our songs, our phrases, our turns of phrase, perhaps, things like that. It's an extremely interesting book. I really like this Prothero guy. The book was published in 1905, I believe. The copy I have is pretty old. It was printed in Great Britain. It's very nice, very old, very fancy, you know how old books look. And I rather like it. I'm getting into it. It's interesting. It's fun. And yeah, I would recommend it. And that is, again, The Psalms in Human Life by Roland E. Prothero. So, this is not necessarily a book that I'd say that you need to read to be like an educated person, because I am not very far into it yet. That's fine. But I just barely started it a day or two ago. But it is one that I would recommend. I really like it. Also, the other day I listened to and finished The Power of Vulnerability, I believe it was called, on my Audible. Also, I am not a spokesperson for Audible. You guys know me. Any of you that have listened to my videos for some time, you know that I'm not here to sell myself. I'm really not about that life. Cool. Evolution did the thing. I'm not about that life. I'm not about to commodify myself. But I will kind of give a shout out to Audible, because I really enjoy Audible. I like that they have some very good selections of audiobooks. I think that those have done a lot of good for me. I've listened to a lot of very good books there. Catch-22, Fahrenheit 451, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, so on and so forth. And I would definitely, again, not hawking someone else's business, but I would recommend Audible. It's very nice, it's very useful. Especially if you just want to listen to a book. If you have a job wherein you can just listen to a book. Like, I was working at a factory for a while that produced airplane parts, and we were allowed to just have headphones in. Like, you technically weren't, but nobody gave a shit. You weren't supposed to have your phones with you because it was sensitive government shit that we were working with. But people would just listen to music, and I was there listening to Don Quixote and what was one thing? And the Witcher series, actually. I'm not big on most modern fantasy, because I might think that most modern fantasy is fucking ignorant drivel. Just to be honest. I have a lot of friends recommend fantasy to me. They're like, oh, you should watch Game of Thrones. I have not watched Game of Thrones, and I have no desire to do so. It sounds like it was written by an 8-year-old for a 3rd grade fucking class project. It's just not well written, in my opinion. You can, of course, listen to it should you desire. I wouldn't put you down for it, but I just don't care about it. But the Witcher series is one that I actually do enjoy. It does seem to be fairly well written, for the most part. It has some complex politics and complex oh, for fuck's sake! Protoss, you're overpowered and you know it, you losers! Look at this guy. He can just kill anything. We can't do anything. Kill him! See? Yeah, he could just do that. Magically. God, I hate Protoss. I absolutely hate Protoss. Anyway. At least I can rape those fuckers with my flyers. Anyway. You know, because mutilisks look like, you know, penises with wings. Never seen a penis with wings? What are you doing with your life? What you doing? Anyway. So. They don't have any of the restrictions that siege tanks do, which I think is unfair. They can do all this damage, which siege tanks can do a lot of damage, but they cannot fire within a certain radius, and they cause harm to their own guys. Neither of which the Reavers have. Reavers are fucking able to do anything with impunity. Which bugs the hell out of me. Anyway. So there's my little rant about something. I think it's probably about time that I stopped. I think we built up this base pretty well. Got a lot of minerals coming in. A lot of minerals. I've been kind of working on building up my forces, and I think now we're ready to start actually building troops and get ready for a full-on attack of the Protoss. Alright. Oh, there's me just rambling. Talking. Talking. That's cool. It's cute. It's fun. It's right. Feels right to my, my nether regions. Get all quivery about doing things that matter. Anyway, so I think there's just certain books out there that really you should read. If you consider yourself a smart person, you gotta read certain books. And Game of Thrones is not on that list. Sorry. Anyway, y'all take care. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.